Hello friends, welcome back to the bench, the back end of Black Horse Repairs. Let's do a quick session today, half an hour, because I have plenty of other stuff to do. So we finished last session with our beautiful feature that allows us to expand and collapse this div, or the card. So today let's style it a little bit more. Probably not validation yet, but let's fill out the form with everything that we need. Also, yeah, let's just style it a little better. So starting from here, we want the fill button to be to the right, and to achieve that, we're still working on a single page. We have scripts over here and styles over here. They will later go to their respective files. Our button is in this column. If we give it, let me see if I remember that, call offset. Was it column offset? No, this is milligram. Yeah, so call offset 4 and call medium 4. Let's see what this does. It should move to the right because it should be offset by the column. We'll figure out the smaller resolutions later. Oh, it did not work. So it is not called offset. Offset column, offsetting columns. Offset MD4, so not column, offset medium, because we're working on medium 4. That should do it. Here. It did work, but we have too many columns. So it offset by 4. But call 4, let's see, call 4 is 33%. Yeah, so that's why it's not fitting. We have, because we already have column 4 over here, so that's 33 plus 33, and this one is 8%. So that gives us 9. Yeah, so that's just over. Okay, so let's do the offset of, so we need to calculate it. So 20%, right? So this should be column 3 or column 5. Let's do 5 here first and see what the size is. See, it helps if you know all that. This would have been a lot faster if I knew all that. But I don't. I usually don't work with the front end. 41%, so we're going the wrong way. 5, so let's do 3. That should be closer to 20%, maybe, hopefully. That is 25%, perfect. So we can fit 4 of these minus 8%. And let's see how our columns are now. Okay, so this one works. And now if we did a little, yeah. All right, we'll figure out the smaller screens. For now, we're working on medium. So let's get it working on this size, and then we'll figure out the other size by doing like call SM and XSM, I think, or XS, something like that. So we'll figure all that out later. So now it's floating the way we want it, but the button, this used to be called pull right. Float overview. Float start and none. Float. Oh. float end. Okay, so float end is float right. Okay, so do float end, and that should pull our button all the way to the right. It doesn't, because our button is block, I believe. Display. Why do I not see the display over here? But I assume the display is block. That's why. Display inline block. So let's change the display to the inline. And let's test it here. Display inline. And it still didn't float to the right. Or maybe block. No, it's still not flowing to the right. Can we just give the button the... Oh, hang on. Alright. I know what the problem is. Yes, the button needs to have a class of float end. And that will pull it to the right. There you go. Okay, so the class, yeah, because seeing the div over here, I thought it applies to the div contents, like text align, right? And we could have we probably could have used text align, and it would still pull that button. If we did text align over here, it would probably also pull to the right, but we're not interested in that. Okay, it's now let's give it a margin right. Was it? Is that gonna work? Nope. There is no such class, I guess. So margin right, let's do 10 pixels. Oh, but not 0, 10 pixels, yeah. So it'll work. And I also want a padding. Oh, actually, let's get that button extra large. I think that's not the class. Nope. btn large button sizes, large button, btn lg, and there's probably xlg too. Nope, there's only large and small, no extra large. Okay, let's have it large. Yeah, because we want that to be nicely visible. Now on this whole row, let's get some padding going. So padding, spacing, margin, and padding, margin top. So T is, oh, because they need to be, okay, so it's margin top, margin left, spacer, padding X. Yes, padding X. So that's what we want on the button. We want PX on the button. This is next, contact information. So we want PX and 5. Let's do and let's remove this since it doesn't work anyways. And now the reason I'm adding padding for the button, I want it to be nice and large. Okay. And I wanted the padding. So if px works in x, then py should work in y, right? Let's do py3. Yeah. Okay. The button is spaced perfectly. The button laid perfectly. Let's just margin. So mx will it be? M for setting margin. MT set margin top, bottom as start. So MS is padding left, ME margin end. So ME, so not MR, ME margin end. ME5 maybe. We want to push the button from the side a little bit to the left. There. It's good enough. Now fill. And okay, that's enough styling, I guess. Now this guy, the SVG. Why does it not work with classes? That is so frustrating. Why can I not get, like, put the class on it and icon font using the web font, copy paste web font. I don't know if I'm using web font. Oh, there's also Unicode. Interesting. I gotta learn that, but I won't right now. Okay, let's get the check mark. Check. Yeah, maybe this one. That looks good. So we want one SVG and another SVG over here. So now they will display both, but we want to hide one and show the other one in there. And didn't I give it the... I did not. So let's do SVG. Can we do class? We can. BI circle. So this will be called the BHR X symbol, right? And this will be BHR check symbol. BHR check symbol. BHR check symbol. And we wanna have them in here. BHR X symbol. And actually BHR check symbol, and we want to give it scale 150% maybe. It should be probably larger than that. Yeah, even larger. Let's do 200. Okay, and this one will also have a class of display none, was it? Yeah. And when we click save button, this one, let's find those symbols. So we'll do X symbol will be container find bhrx symbol, and check symbol container find bhr check symbol. So with this we can now do, we want to hide the X symbol, so X symbol will do add class d_none, and from the check symbol we'll remove class d_none. So one will be hidden, the other one will be shown. Let's refresh and see. Okay, contact information filled. Now let's give them padding. Now let's do margin left. Let's do 5 pixels. Do we want to do that? No, we don't want to do that. Let's stick to the screens, because if we do that, that means 5 pixels everywhere on every screen, and it's not gonna look good on some screens. So we need to stick to the classes. So let's just give it a class of so that was margin start, right? ms, let's do 1. Just push it to the right a little, and yeah, I see that margin now. Yeah, we can see it here. Yes, 4 pixels in this case. So let's do margin 2. A little better. Margin 3. And there. Yeah, good enough. And margin top, let's do 1, because it's a bit, yeah, oh, that's perfect. Perfect, well, almost perfect. So the contact information also needs to have mt1. And that is good enough. Let's try mt2. Is that going to be better? Yeah, I think that's better. I'm not sure, but it looks like it. So let's do mt2 on this one as well. And this is styled pretty much the way we want it. Now, how are we going to control that component? Oh, and let's do this. One last thing. So our button, edit button, once we set it, and you see that oh, okay, let edit button. We're gonna fade in the button, and the edit button, was it text? I think it was text. Let's do update, and edit button, remove class btn primary, and add class btn default. Right, so we don't want the user to just be focused on the button anymore, because you already filled in the information we needed over here, and now we can just update it if you so desire, right? But button default, why is it so ugly? That was let's see, btn button tags, button secondary, outline button. Okay, let's do outline button then. So we're gonna do, so we removed class, let's do button outline, was it? Button outline primary. Like so. Because we still want to see that button. I mean, this would work as well, but it's a little less intuitive, yeah. Now we can update if we need to, but contact information is filled. We have no validation and stuff, but that's fine. And the next button, which is here, let's do button also large, btn lg, was it? Button lg, yeah. And margin top, let's do 3. Let's give it some space over here because it's so crowded here. Better. And shall we pull the button to the right? There used to be called pull right, pull left, and I'm kind of used to these, and now I just constantly forget which one it was. Float end. Float end. And next. Yeah, because you're probably, well, I'm not sure whether it should be on the right or maybe in the center. Let's just give it padding x5 to make the button large. Yeah, I like them large like this. Okay, so we have our fill-in information. Now what we need is an actual form. So let's do some copy pasta here. Align item center. Oh, I didn't know there was a class like this. Good to know. And we have name, blah blah blah. So this is our div. That is so unreadable. Let's reformat, and reformatting is even worse. So we have our name. Now email, bhr email, ID bhr email, and we have no names, so this will not work yet. And it's described by email helper line, which is email helper line, and email address used for communication. Why not? So this will be email, but the type is not text but email, so it'll just self-validate. We can run we will have to run validation because I don't want you to be able to close this window until you fill in all the information, because once you click this button it marks as completed. And I forgot to add the margin left or margin start to this one. MS ms3 and mt2. Yeah, so this was not showing correctly, fill, and it's showing correctly now. And now we have, oh, why is it so ugly here? I think I messed up some divs. No, the divs are okay. Divs are okay. Why is it so misaligned? Right, this one. Oh, okay, probably. Yeah, I know what's going on. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Looks like, so if this was much longer title, this will push the, yeah. That's why they're not aligning. I don't like this form. I don't like this form. Well, either way, we need to add MT at least 2 over here to just kind of separate these. Name, email. Yeah, I'll think about styling this. I think I'm gonna just do the columns. Yeah, because I like them aligned for whatever reason. Just my OCD, I guess. Okay, name, email, and we probably want the description, or we do the description in the next one. Will do. Okay, since we have this now, yeah, because I think the description, because description would be optional. Name, the name that will appear on the shipping label, email. Let's do subject. So, yeah, a description might be optional, but the subject line needs to be required, because I need to know at least, you know, are you sending ECM, a computer, or something. So that will be subject line. Subject, and subject, tell me in one sentence what you're sending. Or let's do the short description of the device you're sending for repair. Okay, that should do. And this will be all the information that we need. It's kind of ugly, but let's get it functional first, because we can always style this better. Now, what we want is just clean this up. So this whole thing, container card, ticket submit section. This one. So this whole section is pretty much our component. So let's go to templates, elements, and let's do the directory, which will be called submit ticket, submit ticket, maybe, and we're gonna keep those components over here. Contact information. I'm not sure if the dashes are replaced with underscores or what, but we'll see. Okay, so now the only difference here will be that we'll do this element, and we want submit ticket contact information. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be underscored or dash. Usually when you do dashes over here, the file name needs to have an underscore for compatibility reasons with different systems. But it looks like it's fine. Okay, and it even works. So our entire file changed into one line now. All right, this is our contact information here. Now we're gonna add multiple of these. We could actually make it into a single component, and just when we render the element, we can give it arguments. So I could give it something like, you know, lines, and lines would be, you know, the objects where there would be a title, right, and it would be email, right, and it required true, something like that, right? That way we have only one component, and it just renders whatever we give it as a data form. So these don't have to be separate components for contact information and all that. But we'll see if we can do that or not. But first, let's do style. Let's get rid of the style from here and give it to webroot CSS new style sheet, and that will be, so I want to have a dedicated style sheet for the submit ticket. There, add it, and like this, and here we'll do this, what was it, CSS, I think. I know this HTML, that's HTML helper, CSS, and I think, do we give it the full, well, let's just do this, submit ticket, that's CSS, and let's see if this will appear on our side here. Yeah, it didn't, so let's see what we ended up with. CSS we have a link to Bootstrap and no CSS there, but do we have CSS here? Oh, here we have. Oh, /CSS /submit ticket.css. Okay, so this should work. Oh, that's why. Yeah, you don't need these if you're in the context of CSS file. But it displayed it inline. Okay, so this is good now. But the problem here is that our CSS file is inline over here, right? And we want it in the header block. where the rest of the CSS lives. So I think it was inline false. I'm not sure. Let's refresh it here, and nope, that did not work. Yeah, it didn't work. I don't know how to do the non-inline. So let's go to cakephp.org and let's go to book and CSS inline. That's an HTML helper. Views HTML helper and linking CSS files, forms. Oh. I don't see anything here about inline. Yeah, there are options on it. Oh, block. So not inline. Block. True. And that's what changed since cake 2. Actually, I wanted to refresh here. And it still didn't work. So what is the problem? Yeah, it still didn't work. What am I doing wrong here? If block option is set to true, the link tags are added to the CSS block, which you can print inside the head tag of your document. You can use the block option to control what the link element will be appeared to. By default, it will appear in the CSS block. If the rel options is important, so this doesn't work. I'm doing block true, yes. And it's not being rendered in the block. So I could do, oh, but let's check this, because maybe it's doing both. Nope. No, I was thinking that maybe it's just doing both. So it doesn't work. Let's do false. It's still here, and it's not in the block. That's too bad. I hate when stuff doesn't work, when you read the documentation and it doesn't work magically. And I must say this is not the best, because there is no example of plugin. If you want to include a CSS which share the name of loaded plugin, blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh, I hate when that happens. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to look into that. There's links and stuff. I will look into that. It's not very important. I mean, we don't want this to be right. I'm gonna just change it to true over here, expecting that it should work. It doesn't, but we don't want this CSS file over here. We want it in the header block. But that's fine. It'll work. What am I doing? That's why it doesn't work. Too bad. See, if this was a stream, someone would just yell at me like, "No, you're putting the block in the wrong in the wrong line of code. Read the code, dumbass." There, now it works. You just have to apply it to the right element. There it is, in the header block. Oh my god. Yeah, so also this is redundant then. We don't need to echo this, right? Because this is equivalent of echo, right? So we can just do PHP and oh my god, and again I'm modifying the wrong line. There. Oh my god, what a day. What a day. And I did a syntax error here. Okay, now we have the style on there, and the final thing is the script. But for the script to work, and I'll show you something really quickly, JS new JavaScript file, and that will be submit ticket. Right, so I have dedicated JavaScript and dedicated CSS for that one single page. Maybe not the most efficient, maybe not the best architecture, but it'll be easy to maintain. And that's my main goal, easy maintenance. So now, this will not work. Oh, this will not work because we didn't load the... So again, this HTML script submit ticket.js and block true. Okay, we don't need separate tags for these, but that's fine. Now let's confirm that the JS file was actually added to the page. It should be submit Is it in the header block? Because I would expect, yeah, it's in the header block. I would expect it to be in the footer. Normally you place JavaScript in the footer. You want that to be loaded last. But yeah, so it probably will work. No, it won't work. Okay, so why it will not work now? Let's refresh the page and see that it doesn't work. Right, I'm clicking, nothing happens. The reason it doesn't work is because we are using where is that JS? We are using click event, right? But we are calling click method on whatever was returned by this, right? And what is this going to return? It's going to return undefined because this button doesn't exist in the DOM yet. Same here. So way around it would be especially if you have a page where you want to attach scripts and events to elements that don't exist yet, but will be loaded during the operation of the page, during the user interaction. So physically those elements will never exist when the page loads. So one way to do it is to attach the event to the higher element, like the window, body, whatever, and attach an event. You give it the selector and whatever needs to happen when, and what kind of event, whether it's click, hover, you know, mouse down, mouse up, whatever events you're interested in. But in this case, since those elements will always exist on the page, but after the page loads, so we want to do all this after the page loaded. And there's, I forgot, what was it called? Ready, right? Document ready. And let's reformat. Okay, so now this code will be executed after the DOM loads. there are two events, document ready and document loaded, and the difference is just the loaded or unload event triggers when the DOM is loaded, not when everything has rendered. Document ready works when is triggered when the document renders, as far as I know, at least. So in this case, it doesn't really matter. Even if we did it on the unload, it would still be good because the DOM elements would be there. Alrighty, so this is our component. So our page now looks like this. We have 6 lines, and actually even 5 if we strip this, and we could make it into even fewer lines, but that doesn't matter. And that's our page. Okay, so now we just need to create the rest of the elements, and that's what we will do in the next session. This session is a short one. It's still pretty too long, 46 minutes. I was aiming for half an hour. Alrighty, that will do for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.